Okay.
Hello and welcome to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast. I am Gil and Larry. That is my main man, Larry Loper. We are coming to you live from Northern Delaware on this Wednesday, October, the 23rd? I believe
23rd.
so.
Yes.
October 23rd. Listen, we got a lot to get into. This is our last sports show for a couple weeks. We got our Halloween special next week. We'll bring that up again at the end of the show. So let's do this. First thing we got to do is talk about this World Series because my New York Yankees, your New York Yankees, our New York Yankees are in the World Series since 2009, and it is the dream matchup. It is the Los Angeles Dodgers, East meets West, star power versus star power, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani versus Judge, Stanton, Soto. Let's go. Let's go. This is, I'm so excited between the World Series and the Bears and it being October, which is my second favorite month of the year, a close second at that. I am super excited. Larry, how you feeling? How you feeling?
Look,
you got the fever of the flavor like I do?
Look, man, I can't even man, it's like a kid when at Christmas time and anticipation when you're about to open up the present, so you can't get no sleep at night because you can't wait to get downstairs and unwrap them gifts underneath that tree, right? It's that feeling when you come down the steps, because when you went up the steps, you ain't see no presents. You come down the steps and a whole bunch of presents, right? Because Santa came. Well, guess what, Gil? Santa gave us a gift. He gave us a gift this year. Yeah, they caught A-Rod coming out some Soul Bowl restaurant in Minnesota somewhere, and you know what A-Rod said? He said, 23 years you haven't seen a World Series worthy of this much hype. You hear me? You have the best of the best. You have the crumb of the crumb. I want to see the best play the best. You got two of the biggest markets, possibly two of the most franchise story franchises of all time, finally clashing. Finally, the Titans get to play each other. Finally, we get all this mid-level stuff out the way and get to the money, man. So right now, bro, I'm so excited for my Yankees, man. Because look, this is when we win. Because I'm gonna put it out there. When we win, right? This gotta be one up there. This gotta be up there, man. I don't know what Babe Ruth was doing back in them days. I know what Lou Gehrig and I don't know what they were doing back in them days because I wasn't alive then. Last time I remember was my man. What's the shortstop? Derek Jeter. I remember them years. Okay, it's been a long time, my man. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time. So when we beat the Dodgers, this got to be the best World Series victory. Once we accomplish that goal, because we truly knocked down somebody that was worthy enough. We ain't pick on a little guy, okay? We fought the bully, okay? We fought the best of the best. So I'm super excited for this World Series, bro. This is it's one of the things you gotta watch. You got to, because it's gonna be so much star power pitching. I mean, come on, man. I can go on and on and on. So I'm super excited. Super excited.
It's not just a sporting event; it is a show. It is one of those things. You're right. We've been looking a lot. I mean, we've been waiting a long time for this. Not just getting back to the World Series, but against the Dodgers. Last time we played the Dodgers was 1981, and they won.
Yeah.
And they had the rookie sensation who unfortunately just died with Fernando Venezuela.
Yeah.
Listen, we're in this, man. We're in this. I mean, they got star power. They earned it. They beat the Padres. They beat the Mets. They earned it. But the Yankees earned it too. Indeed. And it looked like the second half of the year, they were barely keeping their head above water. And now look where they are. Look at how great the acquisition of Soto was. Look at the zone that Stanton is in right now. I mean, he has never been in this kind of a zone.
Not since Miami.
Not since Miami, but it might be even better than Miami because he's hitting good pitching.
Yes, he is.
You know, Cleveland was supposed to have the great bullpen, and he whacked that.
He did.
2 series in a row now. He's been in the zone.
Like you said, man, we're going to get some outstanding pitching. I'm definitely not trying to undermine the opponent because they do have a loaded roster. They do. On both sides, you can argue on both sides of the roster, honestly. From top to bottom, man, we're set, we're solid. they're set because they got sluggers, they got on basemen, they got beautiful pitchers, they got relief. I mean, they're the best. They're the best of the best, bro. So we haven't seen this in a long time. Not the best of the best playing, you
Mm.
know. So I'm stoked, man. I'm gonna use a word. I'm stoked. Let's get it going, man.
It's not too often I'm going to put something else, some other event, sporting or otherwise, above the NFL when
Yeah,
it's the middle of the NFL, when my team is actually winning. You got to understand, last year at this time, my team was 1-5.
yeah.
Now they're 4-2 this year
Look,
with the arrow pointing up.
look.
I don't want to put the cart before the horse, and
Yes,
I don't
sir.
want to start talking football just yet because we're going to talk a lot of football later in the show. But this is a great time for me. We are just over a week away from Halloween. We are 1 week away from our Halloween special, our second annual Halloween special, where we will have not just one guest, but 2 guests. Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm so excited. You're right. I feel like I don't know, 10 years old again.
Yes, sir.
It's crazy. It's good. And you're already predicting Yankees. I kind of am feeling the Dodgers, but I'll be rooting for the Yankees hard. I think I feel a 7-game series. I feel drama, and can the Yankees win out in LA? That's the question.
Hey, man. I know last time we have done it, we always do it in that way. If you think about it, it's always a drama filled series when we win. So that's why I say, we got classic moments. Classic, you go back over time and you have it, Photoshop it, do what you want to do. But every moment we have big moments where, we hoist that trophy and against, outstanding competition. So I just see it, man. I mean, by right, I would probably give them the edge roster wise. I definitely would. They've been building this thing up for a while now. They definitely wasn't shy paying their money for it. But it's just something about us, man. It's something about us, man. Something about us, man. I can't recall last time we made it and lost.
To the World Series and
Yes,
lost?
sir. When's the last time we lost the World Series?
The Marlins.
Yes, you're right. We lost to the Marlins. Y'all, we sure did.
And then the World Series before that was the Diamondbacks.
Yep.
So we had lost 2 in a row after winning 4 under Torrey.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last one was great, beating the Phillies after they were the reigning defending champions. That was cool. It was cool because of the area where we live.
Indeed.
Just take a dump right on them.
Yes, sir.
That was fun. I enjoyed that. Figuratively, of course. But yeah, man, if you're a Dodgers fan, you could say, hey, this is our year. Fernando died. We're going to do it for Fernando. If you're a Yankees fan, you could say, hey, no Astros this year.
No Astros.
Don't have to go through the cheaters. Don't have to go through them to get to the World Series. They've already been taken care of, and here we are. So started from the bottom. Now we're it.
Hey.
Anyway, so I believe the World Series starts on Friday. And by the time we are back on the air for our sports show, the World Series will be over, so we can talk in detail about it. I'm sure we will probably lead off in 2 weeks from now, the Yankees Dodgers World Series. So let's hope it goes New York's way. Now, what did go New York's way finally, was the New York Liberty.
Finally.
WNBA champs. It took 5 games. They choked away game 1. But then they took a 2-1 series lead. Then you got to give the Lynx credit. They won game 4, forced game 5. I started watching at near the end of the first half. The score was 34-20 Minnesota.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, this was a great comeback by the Liberty. Great comeback.
Liberty came back. Sabrina couldn't hit a shot.
Yeah.
But they still found a way. The MVP was how do you pronounce her name? Jonquel Jones. And she averaged like 7 points a game.
Yeah, she came up big.
Okay,
Kim
well,
was big.
she's a big girl. She's 6'6".
Yeah,
All of
yeah,
it. She's a
yeah.
big girl. Brianna Stewart came up big at the end, and man, it really felt good. A lot of energy. You know,
Lot of energy. Lot of energy, bro.
the
Lot of energy.
Barclays Center was hopping and a bopping.
Yeah, it was, man. It was, man. Hopefully, man, that league could get some momentum. They secure some contracts. I think they're expanding. I think they're trying to go back out to Portland, which was one of the original franchises. So, man, I think, and this is my theory, man. It was just, when Kobe Bryant passed, it was such a big blow. In my opinion, the women's sports, I'm telling you, it was a bigger blow. Yes, it was a blow for the NBA, and just it's Kobe, man. He's up there with the Michael Jordan, LeBron James, all that. But what he was doing on the female side of this equation was unexplainable, bro. Like because his daughter, he had the Mamba thing going with his daughter, and he put a lot into his daughter. So I saw him really put a lot of his efforts into the women's side of the equation, funding, just watch it become bigger and bigger and bigger. So hopefully, I mean, the NBA got what? Is it a 100-year run on them? I know the NBA got a big run on them, right?
Are you talking about years of
Yeah,
existence?
year as far as existence.
No, not 100. No, the WNBA came out in 1997.
Okay, so NBA got them by what? About 50 years in?
Yeah, something like
About
that.
50, something like that.
Are we combining the NBA and ABA?
ABL, yeah, ABA, yeah, both. So basically, it just took time for that to build. You know what I mean? Just like it took time for the NBA to build. It's going to take time for NBA to build. But I like directions going. You always want to have these females. And if you have a daughter, man, you could, that's one of the things, you can always put in your daughter. You don't have to you can do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Don't be limited by your sex, your gender, none of that, man. You can do what you want to do. That's what we preach out here, man. On What's Gil? What's good with Gil and Larry, of course.
Always. We're always about positivity, giving everybody a shot, root for the underdog. We're a positive show. We're not anti nothing.
Nothing.
Unless you don't use common sense and you're
that part.
And we call those people out.
Yes, we do.
So congratulations to the Liberty. Speaking of basketball.
Oh man, bro.
Basketball.
Bro. I watched both of them games. No, bro. I watched both of
NBA.
them games yesterday. Both of them. And I'm telling you, on both sides of the equation, them things went the way I thought they was gonna go. Like, we gotta talk about this, man. Let's just talk about it real quick, right?
You thought Boston was gonna hit 29 threes?
No, that I didn't know. But I felt like in the off season, what you did, that you created a bigger problem than you had to. What they did to Jason Tatum in the Olympics was uncalled for. This man's won a championship. He's won MVP. You know what I mean? Well, Jaylen Brown won MVP, but like I said, he just won a championship, and he did not get the respect of a champion, in my opinion, at all. Whatever the case may be. Then on the flip side,
Brown didn't even make
exactly. Once again, on the flip side, they're saying that Jaylen Brown wasn't marketable. With some things, he approached Stephen A about some comments that was made. Right. But his unnamed source, and like he said, I watched a little podcast, and he was like, it's unfair because you pick in your platform, which is a huge platform, and I never got a chance to defend but you'll protect your unnamed source, but you won't let me to protect what he did, which he slandered my character on your platform, major platform. People are, as journalism, you can say what you want to say as journalism. You're protected under freedom of speech for journalism, right? But
freedom of speech, freedom of press.
Press, right. But on the flip side of that, if you're going to slander my character, at least give me that same opportunity in that platform to protect to defend my character, right? Anyway, you keep poking the bear going to end up getting you, bro. Okay? If you let the bear sleep, you probably won't have what's going to happen this year. These dudes on a mission, man. Okay? That was a statement. That was a statement of a champion to let you know that, what Boston did? I love what they did, bro. Boston kept that unit together. Normally, when you go championship mode, sometimes you'll break it apart, right? They kept every player on that championship team, bro. That's another year in jail. That's another year underneath Joe Mazzulla's system. That's another year with Tatum is truly the leader of that team, and Jaylen Brown is definitely the leader of that teteam. The best duo in basketball, in my opinion, right now, right? My Knicks came out and played. I was impressed with my Knicks. I ain't gonna lie. You feel me? I ain't know it's gonna take us a little time because we just had a trade right before the season started on both sides. You know, we gotta be professional. They gotta be professionals, but it hurt on both sides of that equation. Okay. Cat definitely didn't see a move to New York. You know what I mean? And I mean, you know, obviously I like to take the big man. We talked about this, right? But it's gonna be a transition. It's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be a transition. But we look good. It's just that I felt like we should have been strong on the perimeter defense. That's where we got burnt at. Obviously, the team broke a record, came out at 29 threes, but that goes also to perimeter defense too, which I thought would have been a strength because we got some strong role players. You know what I'm saying? We got some strong wing players rather, and it just didn't manifest. You can't let them shooters get. You got to temperature check these dudes, man. You got to get up in their grill. You can't just let them come up and set up on you. The defense was porous yesterday, man. You know, but it's opening day. I don't look no more. It's opening day. Okay. What you think?
Well, you're definitely more optimistic about your Knicks than I am because I found it very concerning that Holiday kept getting switched and put on Big Cat, and Karl Anthony Towns was sticking out his rear end, posting him up. I mean, to me, every single time I know Holiday.
Bully ball.
I know Holiday is a very good on the ball.
Bully ball.
But he's giving up over half a foot.
Yes.
And what 50 pounds, 40
bully
pounds
ball, Gil.
Weight. He should have just every time he should have backed him down, and then if the defense would have collapsed on him, you
kick
can
out.
Choose who
kick
you
out.
want, who you want to kick it
I'm
out
sorry,
to,
Gil.
and they can dump it right back into him.
I'm sorry, Gil. When you're a big man, guess what, Bill? That's what you could do. What you could do, Gil, when you're a big man?
You post up,
kick
and
out.
You impose
reset. Get
your
deeper.
Size.
Get deeper. Right. Reset. I want the ball. I want the ball. Don't go away from me. I got a little guy on me. Like you said, I got a midget in the house. They call it a midget. I got a midget in the house. I got a baby on me. I don't even feel this guy. Give me the ball, man. What you gonna do? That's equivalent of Allen Iverson sticking Shaquille O'Neal. You think Shaquille O'Neal going to say, no, I'm not going to back that little guy in?
Right.
Come on. Once again, Gil, this is why I wasn't thrilled about the trade. Yes, we got a big man, but we got a soft big man. We got a soft big. He'd rather shoot threes than go to the paint. So I have an issue with that. I thought maybe that him and Jalen Brunson would work the pick and roll thing better because Jalen Brunson is a great guy. How does the point guard get in the paint and you don't? How is the point guard, our point guard, I love that guy. I love the way he plays, right? How does he get to the paint? He goes to that paint. Oh, he put pressure on the defense. He going to put pressure on the defense, right? You bail him out. Let me shoot. I want my 7-footer to shoot. You bailing me out on defense. It's a lazy day for me. No Porzingis. No Porzingis. And you got Horford? Come on, man. Come on, man. So, yes, I'm optimistic. Hopefully, Tibbs will get into this dude's brain and say, look, man, stop. Because you know what? On the flip side, because I watched that game too. I'm sorry, I got to jump to the other game because that was an interesting game too, right? Anthony Davis looked like a dominant force yesterday. Anthony Davis is where you want to go if you're a Laker. You want to go through the big man, not LeBron James. I think LeBron James is obviously one of the iconic players of this generation and some. He's 40. Not saying he can't compete because he still got the motor, he still got the bounce, he still got the IQ. He got all the intangibles, brother. Okay? This man puts a lot of money into his offseason, okay? But you go through Anthony Davis, Lakers hard to beat. I don't know if JJ. I'm liking what JJ Redick is going with this thing, man. First day, it's the first day. I know. It's one game. But if it was JJ Redick talking to Anthony Davis and actually going in with a game plan and saying, hey, we're going to play bigger, we're going to be more physical, we're going to be more dominant. If this is what we're going to get out of AD, I like where they're going. Now, once again, I don't know if that's a coaching thing. I don't know if it's just the way the flow of the game went. I don't know. I don't know. I'll see as the season goes on. I don't want to get too hyped, right? But I love the energy. I love Dalton Neck. I love what Connect. I love Dalton Connect. Great pickup for the Lakers. Um, yeah, the old man didn't even have a great game, but they still won. And then Minnesota on the flip side, this I just don't get it, man. Why would you break that up? I just don't get it. I don't. I know Cat was soft. I know he was, inconsistent. But him and Rudy Gobert paired together still that's a big team. You feel me? When Ant Man, I felt Ant Man yesterday. Man, you got no disrespect to Dante DiVincenzo. He's from Delaware, but at the end of the day, he's a role player, bro. He's not no starter. You're a role player. You feel me?
He's going to start on that team.
I know. That's what I'm telling you. He's not a starter. He's a role player. You feel me? Julius Randle looked like a fish out of water. It's going to be rough for Minnesota to repeat with that squad, bro. I'm just being honest. Looking at that squad, it's going to be very difficult for them to go back to that level that's expected. Ant-Man going to have to stand there, screw my language, 30 and 40 a game for them to win, bro. He's going to be tired. I know he's young and he got the energy, but that's a lot to put on your star. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I don't think the roster is a strong roster. Rudy Gobert is not, Rudy Gobert is a soft big man, So I don't know, bro. I don't know about Minnesota, but once again, it's the first game, so I'm not going to get too deep into it. But I thought it was a great game. It was a great game. And look, Bronny and his dad got to play together, man, for 3 minutes. That's what's up. Yeah, man, you can't talk about Bronny, man.
I still marvel at what LeBron can do at his age.
Yes.
I mean, oh my goodness, this is his 22nd year, and he can still dunk the ball like he's, 32 instead of 40. But can we just be real? Is Bronny an NBA player?
No.
I'm not saying that he can't play pro
overseas
ball somewhere, but there's nothing about him that looks NBA to me.
He looked like Bryce Young on a football field.
He looks small. He doesn't have a shot. Who's he gonna defend?
You know what?
It's cool when LeBron gives him a pass if he can score or vice versa.
Right.
But I feel like as soon as LeBron retires, the Lakers are going to part ways with Bronny. I think they will both be out. They will both be out of the league the same year.
It's crazy, man. I was thinking about this, right? I said, being that he is who he is, he's not like Bryce. Bryce, I think, got a better future because he's tall. He's gonna be like his dad's height. You feel me? Then he'll start to fill out. Bryce will probably fill out like his dad more than Bronny would, right? But I was thinking, like, because Bron got all the connections and he got all the friends in the NBA. You know what game I would have mirrored? I actually work with my son rather, because if I want my son to be able to compete in the NBA, you know who I actually would have had him working with, because he would have had to need that type of game in order to be able to compete in the NBA at an NBA level. You know who I would have mirrored this game after?
Jason Kidd.
Down that road, but I think about somebody more recent. Down that road, but more recent.
Is he still a player?
He's in the league now, yes.
Ooh.
Kind of same height, a little bit.
So a short point guard that doesn't really score.
Not real score, but pure point guard. Pure point guard.
And he's in the league now.
He's in the league right now.
Connolly?
Nah, I would CP, Chris Paul. I'm thinking about Chris Paul.
CP can score.
Yeah, exactly.
He in his prime was a good on the
defender. That's what I'm saying. I would have had him work with CP. You feel me? I would actually have him mimic his game at the CP, because he has explosion, bro. He has explosion. He has bounce and all that. That's what I'm saying. If he could have worked with CP when he was younger, because that's what you're going to be, a point guard, right? You didn't get your dad's height. You didn't get your dad's genetics, right? So working with my dad and working with my dad image wouldn't work. I would actually work with somebody that was going to be a point guard. You feel what I'm saying? Because he could have taught me the point guard position at a high level. That's what I meant by him going to Chris Paul.
But Chris Paul is like a career 18-point scorer. So I think Connolly needed to work with somebody that's a pure point guard that doesn't score. That when he comes in, he's not instant offense, but he is the floor general and gets the offense going. And I don't like a Ricky Rubio. Something
Okay, I
like
could have said,
that.
yeah, like Ricky.
You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, but you want to be
Jason Kidd
impactful.
came into the league not a scorer. He didn't have a good
Yeah,
shot
but
his
he
first
was
10
six.
years.
But he was six. He was 6'6" or something
He's
like
six
that.
four.
Six
He's
four.
6'4".
Bronny's what?
He's big, 6'2.5".
Right, 6'2" and a half. How tall is Chris Paul? 6'2" and a half.
They list him at 6'3", but yeah, he's probably about six
Right.
two and a
So
half.
that's what I said. That would have been the particular his height. He's his height. You know.
But he can score.
Once
He can
again,
score.
that's my point. If I would have worked with him, he probably would have taught me how to become a scoring point guard. That's my whole point. If I'm going to go play this position like Bryce Young, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he came out high, but you know who I would have been working with, honestly? Drew Brees. Drew Brees. He's a short quarterback, and being that I'm short, I would have to know how I can what's my advantage in this thing, right? So I would have made my game after Drew Brees, a short quarterback that was dominant. You know what I mean?
We don't know these guys' schedule. Drew
Yeah,
Brees
that too.
might not be into the I'm coaching some other team
Yeah,
business. Same thing with CP3. I mean, he's a star. Who knows what his schedule is?
right.
So
it was just one of them thoughts. Like, man, if I was like my connections as a player, I would have probably went that route with my son. Like, you know what, he ain't going. I could see he ain't gonna be getting my height. So let me try to let him work with somebody that kind of is gonna be in his. I know he wanted bad. I know he wants the dedication. He really wants it, but unfortunately, like you said, it's the thing I want. It's the reality.
mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he's not a hard worker. I tell he works hard. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, limited on that level. You're talking about 450 people, professional people. See, I know some bench players are better than him. I know some G League people are better than him. You feel me? So we know why you got on there. We know you got your contract because your dad. You feel me? We know that. It's a special moment in sports, but I'd have felt some type of way, man. Like, I'm being interviewed after the game and I ain't do nothing but enter the game. You know what I'm saying?
He's got that last name and he's got
Papa.
He's got Papa on his team.
Yeah, man. But as a competitor and a player, dog, I'm cool. I mean, I'd have been happy for the moment, like maybe because I'm Aries and the way I think, I'd just be like, I might miss the moment, but I want to be interviewed when I made an impact on the game. Now I want your charity. I want your charity interview. I want the interview because I was an impact player. I was a PT player, man.
That's easy to say, but I don't think he's going to be an impact player. I think he's a bench player that is probably borderline NBA. And once his father is out of the league, I think he'll be out of the league.
He must soak up the game.
I wish that. That's just
the truth.
There's nothing that I see. I'm like, that guy's got potential. There's nothing. There's nothing that I see. He doesn't have size. He doesn't have crazy athleticism. He doesn't have a shot. There's nothing. And I feel like if he was on any other team in the NBA, he wouldn't be like the 6th, 7th, 8th man. I think he'd be like the 9th, 10th, 11th man. I think he'd be the 3rd point guard on the team, not the 2nd.
Now I'm gonna ask you a question. Because we did this last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who is your top 8 coming out the East? Are you looking forward to come out the East this year? Who's your top 8 coming out the West? Early predictions.
It's really a silly prediction when I didn't watch any of the preseason and the league just started yesterday.
Right.
So I'm really just throwing darts and picking teams from last year.
Kind of last year projections, and you're kind of going off. I mean, anyway, even if you looked at the preseason, still you're going off of last year.
I don't have 8 because it's just disingenuous. I don't want to put 8 teams out there when I don't know about 8 teams.
Okay.
I got 5 in the East and I got 6 in the West.
Okay.
Okay. In the East, Boston again. Philly, but I don't like this load management crap. So I think it's going to be Boston by a lot.
Yeah.
Philly, the Knicks, I was not impressed with the Knicks yesterday. It's game 1. I know they just made that trade. Karl Anthony Towns, he worries me because I feel like he gets lazy and doesn't play big man bully ball. He kind of passes out of situations and he shoots threes when he doesn't need to shoot a three. I like Indiana. Milwaukee, the second year with Dame. Let's see, with Giannis being healthy. Let's see. I'm not really feeling anybody else from the East. Maybe Miami, but those are the five that I'm really interested in. It's really Boston, Philly, Knicks, but I feel like it's Boston, then Philly, Knicks. Like they're close.
Okay.
No one's close to Boston. Now in the West, I really like OKC.
Of course.
I really like OKC. They're not going to surprise anybody this year. And they grabbed a couple of role players that I think will play big for them. Minnesota, I'm curious because of the trade. Denver is Denver. The roster-wise, I like the Lakers. The Lakers roster-wise. Dallas, being that they were in the finals last year, is Luka going to make that MVP run? We know he's a great player, and we know he has some incredible games where he'll score 50 and have, 15 assists. We know that. But he also couldn't stop me one-on-one.
Right about that.
And what's Memphis going to look like this year?
Okay.
So I can't really come up with 8, but those are my 5, 6 from each side. I'm really feeling Boston to go to the finals again right now after one game. Ridiculous. But they did break the record with the 29 threes. I don't know who cared about that. Apparently they did. And I'm really feeling OKC this year. I'm really feeling OKC. So an OKC Boston finals, a way, way, way too soon kind of prediction. But that's what I'm going at because I think you know what you're getting from those two teams. It's going to take injuries or something, whatever, forbid, outside of basketball with, bad behavior. Okay, let's say that. It's going to take something like that to derail them. I think OKC and Boston are on a collision to meet in the summer for the crown. That's how I see it. Those are team-wise. Player-wise, I talked about Luka. I talked about Karl Anthony Towns. I think you're on to something about the Lakers with Anthony Davis. Maybe they can finally build that team, that offense, rotate it around him. He's going to get hurt at some point.
Yeah, you already know.
You can't. Don't do what Philly does and be like, well, we're going to try load manage.
When has that ever worked?
It's not going to work. So have him out there and make him ball out. And when he gets hurt, he gets hurt. In the meantime, revolve your offense around that guy because right now he is your best player. He's been your best player. So make him your best player. And I also do think the Lakers upgraded with the coaching staff.
Indeed.
I do. So I'm looking Lakers, Anthony Davis, Jason Tatum. I think he's going to be like Josh Allen in football.
Yes.
Called this the Josh Allen middle finger tour.
Yeah.
Because the people that said he was overrated. And I think Tatum's going to be like, I won a championship and you barely played me in the Olympics and you didn't even take my Robin with me who got the MVP of the finals. Okay. You know what? A champion, you don't need to pull on Superman's cape, but guess what? I'm about to show you who the Man of Steel is. I think that's the mindset.
Indeed.
Look for Jason Tatum to have his best year. Look for him to have his best year. So those are the players and the teams that I'm interested in to look for. I'm going to get into Philly a little more in a second, but I want to hear your players and teams that you're interested in.
I'm in the same boat. I think Boston by far is the market champion, barring injury. I That's any team or injury. We talking about full roster, and they can get through the year or at least get to the postseason fairly healthy. Boston by far. Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee's going to be there. Like with the low management crap with Philly, I'm not liking the signs already. So I just don't think you want to play for a chip, not to make the playoffs. Y'all been doing this too long, right? So y'all already talking about some low management crap. I'm cool off that. It doesn't work. It doesn't. Um, Miami's gonna be Miami. They like that pest. They like that little gnat that's
Mhm.
always there, right? The mosquito. So they're gonna be around. Indiana, I like young boys coming up. They got a nice young squad. I think if they get mature, because they're young. Feel me? My Knicks will be mid tier. Knicks will be there. Cleveland be there mid tier. Interested to see what Detroit's going to do. I know they're used to having such a loser culture. But I'm gonna see what I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to do out there in Detroit. They got a young squad. It's just can they get over, because they had a terrible year last year. So can you break that loser's mentality? Lonzo Ball, I want to see if he could go a whole year because he's back this year in Chicago, which, you know, I'm not looking for Chicago, Charlotte, none of them teams to come on Washington, none of them teams to do anything. Um, on the West Coast side, like you said, OKC, Denver, the trade with Minnesota just got to jail. They got to show me. I got to see their identity. I know it's Ant, but besides Ant, last year they hung their hats on playing great defense. Um, they had a bona fide scorer, superstar, right? So that is just the identity of this team. I don't know the identity. With Julius Randle, can he coexist with Anthony Edwards? You got a plethora of point guards. They drafted the point guard, Rod Dillingham. I wanted to see him get some tick, but he didn't get in yesterday. So between Dante DiVincenzo and Conley, he didn't get no tick, and I think that's the future. I think that'd be a great combo once he starts to get some tick. I don't know. He's injured. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to slowly work on the rotation. The Lake Show, man. The Lake Show. If Reddick, if he could come in there and establish his identity, you gotta have a strong personality going there, man. You gotta have a strong, and he already got the respect of LeBron, so he's already winning because he has LeBron's respect. Okay, as long as you get the old man's respect, man, you win it. Okay. Now I see it translated to the rest of the locker room because I already knew that was LeBron's call, right? But how would the rest of the team respond to him? Either you going to accept it or you going to reject it. That's the only two things going to happen. Look at they're accepting of it. It's a philosophy. He has to bring it to a philosophy in. So it takes time for philosophies to build. You win building, you build winning cultures. Okay. Dallas is going to be a threat. Care how you call it. Dallas is a threat. Sacramento, I want to see what Sacramento's going to do. I like Sacramento, but I want to see how they're going to gel because what's called went out there now. The DeRozan went out there, so I want to see how that team come together because we know he can score, but it's about the fits. Will he fit on the team? You know what I mean? Because you add a player doesn't necessarily mean it's going to fit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking to see Wemby's second year, and now the game should be a little bit slower, so his dominance should be more. He has a point guard that's a point guard, but Wemby's one of them freak players, though. It wasn't dependent on the point guard for him to get what he's going to do. But Chris Paul will make it easier. He's made every team better except the Golden State Warriors. They were the old fossil team. So I expect him to make them good because they're a fossil team. You know what I'm saying? Like they're still holding on to the glory years. You dig? Trying to think of if I lost any team out. Houston. I think Houston got a shot of just making the playoffs. Now I don't see them going deep, but I think they could at least make at least the buy-in game, the playing game. Because they got a young, bouncy team. And then Duco, that's the second year there. So he's going to make it better. He's a good coach. You know what I mean? He's definitely a good coach. So I'm curious about that whole situation out there in Houston. But man, I just can't wait for this year. It's going to be a great year. It's going to be a competitive year. I think it's the most balanced on both sides of the league that we've seen in a while. Normally it's either the West is crazy dominant or the East is crazy dominant. I think it's actually a balance now. So I just can't wait, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. Unfortunately, what seems to be the norm of players being hurt and not playing, it's the same guys. It's Embiid, it's Paul George, it's what's his name from the
Kawhi
Clippers,
Leonard. Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard
He's
again.
indefinite again. He's
It's
might be tired,
just
man.
these same guys, man. They don't play. They're easily injured. I'm tired of it. And I guess somebody needs to remind the Philadelphia 76ers what business they're in, because they're not in the let's give ourselves the best chance to win a championship 6 months from now. They're in the entertainment business, and they're not refunding any of those tickets
At all.
Those people are paying a lot of money to go to those games.
Right.
They're paying a lot of money for parking. They're paying a lot of money for a beverage. They're paying a lot of money if they want to bring their kid. They're paying a lot of money for streaming services. They're paying a lot of money for cable services. None of this is free. None of this is cheap. None of it. None of it. Okay, they're not watching 76ers basketball on antenna TV. They're not. None of it's free. So their customers, their fan base, they have to pay the merchandise, all that stuff. And then you're already going to say at the beginning of the year, you're load managing your best player. Paul George is injured. He'll be back next week. He's going to miss a week and a half at most. But you're already load managing. I mean, he was healthy enough to be on the Olympic team.
That part.
I mean, did they really need him to win the gold? And now you're load managing. You're already saying you're not going to play any back-to-backs this year. What are we doing? What are we doing? So how exactly are you going to be conditioned for the playoffs when you're not even really conditioned for the regular season? I mean, I don't know. I guess common sense ain't that common. It is what it is. I'm disappointed because I thought Philly could make a real run, and they still might.
Man. I really did. I did. I'm not a Philly fan.
They still might, but your best ability is availability, and you got to remember who your clientele is, and that's me, and that's you, and everybody listening to this podcast and watching this podcast. And it's disappointing. It's disappointing when they don't get it. It's disappointing, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. That's for as positive as I was being excited for the NBA. The same old nonsense is still the same old nonsense. So, what you gonna do? All right, I guess it's time to talk about what we normally talk about on the podcast, and that is the NFL. The NFL had a few trades happen, in particular wide receivers being moved. We had Amari Cooper go from Cleveland to Buffalo. We had Devontae Adams go from the Las Vegas Raiders to the New York Jets that play in New Jersey. And we just had yesterday, or is it today? I guess it happened earlier today. Yep. DeAndre Hopkins go from Arizona. Was it Arizona? No, Tennessee.
Tennessee, yep.
Tennessee to
the best team in the NFL.
Kansas City. Yep. Now we know that he is a little long in the tooth, but he did go over 1,000 yards last year.
Yeah, with a bum quarterback.
With mediocre.
With a bum quarterback. Yes.
I'm being nice by saying mediocre quarterback play.
I said it right. He's a bum. He's a trash. He's bum. He's poop. He's that garbage juice. He's that stuff at the bottom at the pail, man. Like that's your future. Yeah, he's that juice. He's that stuff you dumping your trash out. You got that juice at the bottom. He's that. He's trash, man.
He's the stuff that leaks out the bag.
Yeah, that stuff. The stuff that stinks up the crib. He's that, man. He's a walking hazard, man. He's a hazmat suit, man. That dude is trash. No. I call a spade, man. It is what it is, man.
Right.
I feel sorry for him. But he's a rookie, so I expect that. He's really a rookie if you think about it. It's a full season starting. So unfortunately, they never made good choices at the quarterback position in Tennessee, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
Tennessee is
but
one of the teams that is in the race for number one.
yes, sir.
They
So
are there.
speaking of the trades, though, man, I thought with Buffalo definitely needed number one. They just definitely they need somebody that can make that play. Okay. And I get in the beginning, it's always good with the play design when you don't know who's the threat. It's like one of the things you can't really plan for because you don't have enough tape on the people. You know how defenses is, bro. You always like when the Wildcat first hit, it took people off guard because the defense is never prepared for it.
I
They didn't have
hate
enough.
Wildcat.
I hated it too. Because it's a copycat league, so it got ridiculous. Okay,
Running backs playing quarterback.
yeah, it got bad. It was bad, but thank God that the football gods cleared that up. Okay, I think that definitely it helps. It bolsters that receiving course because, but when Josh Allen need to make a play, just one guy, just go on one. They're throwing man at us, man. You feel me? Because when you got weak receivers, I don't need to play a zone with a weak receiver for what? You feel me? I don't need to play like a man up because they're not going to beat us one-on-one with these individual matchups. So Josh Allen is doing what he's doing, trying to buy time, but it's hard when your receiver's not winning the battles.
Mm-hmm.
I know Amari Cooper can win the battle. He's a great route runner. He's always been a great route runner. Now he's longer than tooth like D-Hop is, right? So you don't got too much mileage out of him. But I think for this year he'll be effective. Okay, he will. And as they gel and start to get that chemistry, you can take chemistry. It's a chemistry thing, right? I think they'll definitely be on the radar. Buffalo, right? The Jets, it's another player. I mean, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. We need to address the elephant in the room. Let's get around the bull crap, okay? I don't care what. I don't care what. You go take Mike McCarthy and bring him over and be your head coach, okay? You want to redo that Green Bay thing, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You got everything you need, and you had everything you needed prior to Devontae Adams coming over there, okay? So we ain't gonna keep doing all this, man. How many players you need to go try to get you a chip? And you still look flat. You still look uninterested. You still look like you can't got no. It's not that, okay? It's not the players. It's the coaching. It's the coaching, bro. It's the coaching. The scheme doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have no motion. You have no tricks. You got an old man that can't scramble. Come on, you're not playing to his skill set. Okay, he's making some of the dumbest decisions at this age. He's not getting on the podium and doing what Pat Mahomes would have done and said, "Look, I'm playing terrible. I need to play better for us to win." He looked at myself in the mirror and say, "I'm not making my team better. I am hurting them right now." No, he doesn't do that because he's Aaron Rodgers. He's the guy that get coaches fired, because Aaron Rodgers. Don't touch me. I'm a diva. As my man said, he corrected me last week, I'm a prima donna. Okay? I think he's a Madonna, but okay, he's a prima donna. Okay? Don't touch me. He's that guy. All right? He's terrible right now. They ain't bring this 40-year-old quarterback over here to play like this. They could have kept Zach Wilson. Okay? They could have kept Zach Wilson. If I expected your championship caliber, your resume to take us to the promised land. Okay? Defense ain't even dominant. That's embarrassing. Russell Wilson looked like crap for the last 2-3 years. He looked like a bona fide starter against them on Sunday night, brother. He looked great. Look, do you see the passes? I watched that game. The first couple series, it was terrible. Look, he couldn't hit the side of a barn, okay? It was bad. He looked like a little leader out there, right? But then he started to get a little rhythm. And it wasn't like he was hitting you with bombs. He just started getting more confident, right? Because he was throwing floaters out there, bro. He was throwing floaters out there.
He was
right?
dropping them like in a bucket. Up, down. Up, down. All of a sudden now Pickens is catching balls.
Come on. So it goes back to coaching, bro. It goes back to coaching with the Jets to me, man. I don't care how many players you got. That's an undisciplined football team. I don't know who is holding, who's accountable. And then maybe they have a players only meeting. They need to do something. Because right now, they were predicted to be the top dogs in that division. They were supposed to be the top dogs in that conference. They were supposed to be what we talking about going to a Super Bowl caliber team. I don't see that, brother. I see a disappointment all the way around the border. And nobody wants to point the finger. Nobody want to be a leader. Nobody want to step up and say, for the love of this franchise, for the love of this fan base who keep getting sadly disappointed, we need to make some changes.
I have a lot to say about the Jets, and none of it is good. Did you know, fun fact, you might already know this, last year at this time, after 7 games, under Zach Wilson starting, the Jets were 4-3.
4-3.
This
Wow.
year, they're 2-5 after 7 games. And Zach Wilson, they couldn't run him out of town fast enough, which is fine because he stunk. But the facts are facts. He was the starting quarterback last year, and he was 4-3 after 7 games.
That sounds like a winning record to me, brother.
That is a winning record. Listen, you're saying it's the coaching. I think you're using the wrong C word. I think it's the culture. Because this is a losing culture. You're right. Who's the leader? Who's the one that's standing up there? Don't tell me it's Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers keeps saying we and us and all this stuff. We got to improve. It's all on us. Things like that. Don't listen to the media. Things like that. When's he going to be, like you said, like Mahomes, and say, I got to be better. I got to be better. I need better body language. I can't be lifting up my head when a play doesn't go right. I can't be on the bench with that face where I'm rubbing my nose and then biting my fingers looking like I'm eating my boogers. Okay? I can't be doing that. I can't be doing that. If I'm not going to be the leader, then it needs to be somebody else. I was never big into, it's not fair that they fired Robert Saleh. Robert Saleh wasn't a leader.
No, he wasn't.
What was Robert Saleh good at, other than dropping F-bombs on Hard Knocks? Because he was good at that.
Yeah.
He was really good at dropping F-bombs on Hard Knocks. But what did the team benefit from? Now you hurt them because the defensive coordinator that was doing a good job since he's been head coach, now the defense is giving up plays, and they're making Russell Wilson look like Russell Wilson of 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Not how he's looked the last 3 years.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I get you didn't want the offensive coordinator to be the head coach, but you got to have a plan. If you just fired Robert Saleh to fire Robert Saleh, then that's not a plan. And now, did this defensive coordinator, did he want to be a head coach? Because if you're going to offer it, you're always going to say yes. But did he ever say like, my next job, I want to be a head coach, or give any kind of indication? Because to me, it feels like you got a defensive coordinator doing a job that he doesn't want to do. And now that he's spreading himself out, where he was really good is no longer really good. Now, a positive for the Jets, they're finally getting Hassan Reddick. Finally. So that should help on the defense, especially on the pass rush and getting to the quarterback. It should, just like Devontae Adams, should help in the passing game. But you and I both know the line of scrimmage, the NFL can change as much as it wants. The line of scrimmage on every play dictates on how the play is going to go.
Indeed.
Right now, the offensive line, not doing great. They're not doing great run blocking, and they're doing even worse pass blocking. And Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career is not the ultimate deodorant.
Mm-hmm.
He is not going to be able to gloss over what stinks like he was able to do in Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's not. He is not one of the better quarterbacks anymore. Does he have moments? Yes, he does. But for 4 quarters, he's not great for 4 quarters. He's not even good for 4 quarters. He's up and down. His best game was against the Patriots. It was a good game, not a great game. You know, he hasn't thrown for 300 yards since 2021.
Yeah.
Since 2021.
Yes, sir.
This is 2024. He hasn't thrown for 300 yards. Listen, I'm very, very disappointed in the Jets. So much so, they may even be on one of my tiers again.
Yeah, man.
So let's get to the tiers. NFL tiers. The good teams, A, B, and C. Kansas City is still undefeated. They are A. The Lions right now to me are the best team in the NFC. I picked them to beat Minnesota last week. By the way, I'm going to talk about my picks because I had another good one 3 weeks in a row. Lions are my B team. And right now, at least offensively, the Ravens look awesome. I mean, you might have the race for MVP on that team with Jackson and King Henry because they are balling out.
Yes,
I don't love their defense, but their offense is looking great. So I got Kansas City, Detroit, and Baltimore, ABC, tier number 1. Who are your ABCs for your tier?
Agreement. I got the same exact teams in the same order. In the same order. Hard to argue that order, my brother. Kansas City, even with, they said this Mahomes, I heard it last year. They said last year the team was playing terrible, but yet they won a Super Bowl. They said this year, statistically wise, Mahomes not having a good year. But guess what? The defense is. So they actually have a defense in Kansas City. Can you believe that, bro? That's never been used with Kansas City defense.
Last year they were really good, which kept
they were, but not. I don't believe at this level of dominant. Their defense is really holding them down. You feel me? They're complimenting the offense in a major way. You know, and then with the losses, you know, they have lost some key personnel. So that goes back to the culture, as you said, the Big C. They have established a winning culture that is plug in. You can plug in it. And then you got guys like Kareem Hunt that's looking like the old Kareem Hunt. You know what I mean? Which Cleveland couldn't bring out the good Kareem Hunt. Now he's looking like the old Kareem Hunt. You know, you have cats like Juju who look like trash everywhere else. But there it's magical. Now you bring a guy like D-Hop, Mr. Hands. Mr. Hands, that's what you bringing that guy in. He don't drop to me in passes, bro. With a quarterback that can get you the ball, oh my goodness. Guess what's going to happen? His route running going to greatly improve. I promise you. He's going to be motivated again. You know what I mean? Greatness with greatness. I don't care what you say, man. Yeah, he might be at the low end of it might be at the final end of the career part, right? But sometimes you get that, you're resuscitated. You need that. You got to bring them cables out, man. I think a great clear. I think a great quarterback can bring that new life to you. It's a rebirth, you know. But definitely, man, that's the best. And Detroit is playing like a champion, which we predicted. We predicted that Detroit was going to have this type of year. That whole division is the dominant division. So, you know, the most dominant division in football right now is y'all North. If you're North, you know, which is great for football. Minnesota's still strong to me. They just lost, I guess, a better team. You feel me? It was a great game. They didn't get blown out. It came down to a field goal. So they're the real deal.
They almost stole it.
Yeah,
they almost stole it.
They really did. So they're looking for Sam Darnold to have this implosion. It's not happening, bro. It is what it is. It's not happening. He's comfortable. You know, it was a good game. It was two juggernauts playing each other, two of the best in the division playing each other. Somebody got to lose, right? And then what Detroit doing that run game is, oh my God, they're throwing them two running backs at you, bro. They got so many weapons they throw at you, man. They just got a great play caller. Ben Johnson's a great play caller.
Great play caller.
Yeah.
Quarterback is playing great offensive line, great wide receivers.
That's crazy, bro.
Now they're going to lose Williams for 2 games.
Yeah.
They got 2 great running backs. What do they call themselves now? Oh, they call themselves
Sonic and Knuckles. Yeah, Sonic and Knuckles.
Nice.
You know, can we believe that we're talking about Detroit Lions, bro? winning culture. Detroit Lions.
Let's
I
be honest.
love when pancake flips.
They should have went to the Super Bowl last year.
Should
They
should
should
be
have
right
went to the
about
Super
that.
Bowl.
Be right about that.
And even though Hutchinson, he's probably out for the year.
Yeah.
Um,
Wouldn't it be great if they could have got Max Crosby? That'd have been dope. They could have got Max
listen,
Crosby.
the trade deadline's next week.
So
Players like Crosby and Myles Garrett, they're obtainable.
I'm saying, man, you get an edge guy like a Max Crosby come in there, bro.
They're obtainable.
Bro. Anyway, so what's your B tier?
My B tier, I'm still keeping Minnesota. Like you said, they're good. They just happen to lose against a very good team. They were undefeated prior to losing to Detroit. I still got Minnesota. I got Green Bay now. Green Bay is looking pretty stout.
Yeah.
Again, the NFC North right now, best division in football. Everybody with a winning record. And I didn't think I was going to say this early in the year, but they're starting to rack up those wins. I'm liking Denver right now. I'm liking Denver.
Wow.
Denver winning. They won big last week. That rookie quarterback is looking pretty decent right now. And Denver's defense, I could kick myself. I had Denver's defense in fantasy as my backup defense. And as soon as the Patriots became available, I dropped Denver and took the Patriots. And now I'm regretting it because Denver's defense is balling out. I got Green Bay's defense and I got the Patriots. I could have had Green Bay and Denver. That would have been nice. But
yeah.
And part of the reason why I dropped Denver's defense too in fantasy is the week Green Bay is on a bye. Denver is playing Kansas City at Kansas City. So I was like, ooh, I'm going to play Denver. I don't like that matchup. And, it was the beginning of the year. So Denver's defense, you didn't know how good they were.
Right.
So I trust the Patriots. And now I wish I didn't do that. But, hindsight 2020. So Minnesota, Green Bay, Denver, ABC tier 2, my B plus level tier. What's yours?
I got Green Bay top, right? I see Washington. I got Washington.
Okay.
I know they beat up on the Panthers, but that's what you do. That's what you do. And they lost their quarterback early to a rib injury. So that's gonna be a week to week thing with him to see how that's gonna go. But Marcus stepped in huge and they destroyed that team. So that's what you do, And side note, the Panthers are going back to Bryce Young because Andy Dalton, the guy that got in a car accident, man. I'm glad he's okay though. He said he broke his thumb, so and his throwing hand. So now Bryce Young, hopefully, man, he sat back there, man, and we'll see. We'll see if sometimes you just need that type of break away from the game to get back in the game and say, look, man, I can play. But if he go out there in that first series is choppy, he ain't gonna have a good year. So it's all about the first series. But anyway, we're not talking about that guy. And I got Pittsburgh, believe it or not. I got Pittsburgh. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect Pittsburgh to be where they're at. And I definitely thought it was going to be the quarterback play. I already knew they was going to try to establish a run. That was kind of pretty much their identity was going to be, just smash mouth, try to make smash mouth football. But with Russell, Tomlin didn't look bad. It looked like a smart decision. It had to be that way because if the way it was going, it looked like a terrible decision. But hey, man, right now they're playing good football. So Minnesota definitely could have been that list, though, And Denver, right. Denver's defense is definitely acceptable because the rookie, he did what he had to do, but it wasn't like he dominated the game. It wasn't that. It was the defense really dominated the game. They had some special teams play in that game. Special teams that scored. The defense scored. And then Bo Nix didn't turn the ball over. But I'm still going back to that Chargers game, man, with him, man. Like, the offense was stale, bro, for 4 quarters. It took him all the way to almost maybe the 8-minute mark in the fourth quarter for him to finally get something going. You know what I mean? So it's not explosive. It's not. It's just not explosive, man. Like, so, but they're winning. So it takes time to build a culture. All right.
Uh,
And who you got for you not performing at the level they should be performing at?
Kaka. Uh, all right, tier 3 underperforming.
Yes.
I got to go with San Francisco right now. San Francisco, listen, they got a lot of injuries, but they are clearly not the class of the NFC.
Yeah. That's a
And
good
I don't
one.
think they're even the best team in their division right now.
That's a good one.
I mean, McCaffrey was the number 1 pick in fantasy football. He hasn't played yet, and who knows when he's going to play.
It might be scratched for this year, bro.
I mean, Ayuk is out for the year.
That's what happened when you chase money.
Debo was in the hospital because he caught pneumonia. Yeah, I'm not feeling San Francisco right now. I mean, I probably should have never felt this team, but they were 2-0 and looked like, oh, maybe this is a different year. No, it's the same. New Orleans Saints, terrible. Fool's gold. Their defense is terrible. They got a defensive head coach and their defense isn't good. And it looks like Spencer Rattler, the rookie, is going to start again this week. It's not official, but it's trending that way. So can't be liking their chances. And I'm going to stick with the Jets. The Jets, who is a team that I thought was going to go to the AFC Championship game to play Kansas City. I mean, they are going nowhere fast. I mean, every game now is like a must win for them. They got to rattle off, 3-4 wins to get back in this because they've given themselves no cushion, no net, no safety net.
Nope.
They're 2-5. Yeah, they're playing the Patriots this year, and that's when they look the best. But the Patriots head coach said that his team looks soft. He said it publicly. Now, your team is either going to respond one way or they're going to respond another way.
Right.
And considering that the Patriots are at home and they've already gotten their rear end beat by the Jets earlier, which was the Jets' last win, seems like forever ago. Robert Saleh was still their head coach. So that seems quite a ways ago. So I got San Francisco, New Orleans, Jets. You could go in a lot of directions with that. I mean, they're the obvious really bad teams that we thought were going to be bad, but then there were the teams we thought were going to be good or started off good, and no. So I got San Francisco, Saints, Jets. Who are your 3 disappointments?
Right now I got the Jets. Definitely the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't expect this team to be there. I thought I don't know. I didn't think it's going. I don't know what I thought. I don't know. Maybe I did, but I got the Chargers on here because I just don't know the identity. Yeah, I don't like Joe. I expect John Harbaugh have some. I don't expect it. Jim. I expect Jim Harbaugh's gonna take years to build it up, right? But when you dumped all your receivers, man, it's like you left no room to do anything, I know you want to run the ball but they should have beat Arizona, bro. They should have beat Arizona. So it's like I don't know what you're gonna get with this team. 1 minute you dominate your defense, which defense was. It's just for a Harbaugh coach team, they're normally disciplined. You know what I mean? And Arizona was just all line bad calls. It was a bunch of just flag. It was just bad. It was bad. And maybe because he went out with that hard thing with Denver, it might have affected preparation for Arizona, but you shouldn't have lost to Kyler Murray and the Energizer Bunny. Shouldn't have lost to the Energizer Bunny. And then Miami, man. I know Miami had high expectations, bro. And I get it. Tua wasn't there. I get it, right? But if you have any good coaching in you, bro, you can make it do with the players you got. You still got the cheetah. You still got the number 1 player that was voted by his peers. The number 1 player was the cheetah.
That's right. That's right.
That's why
that's funny because he was voted number 1.
Yes.
And Josh Allen was voted most overrated.
Yes.
How silly is that? Players like to say, "Hey, we play, we know the game." Blah blah.
No, I defer on that because if y'all knew the game, then the experts wouldn't be the experts, would they? Because every time these expert picks come up, we do better than they do. So because you play the game don't necessarily mean like I could say a Belichick or somebody maybe because they just got that IQ, But at the end of the day, that's the problem because you play the game, you think that the guys like us don't have an opinion or shouldn't have an opinion because we didn't lace them up. Okay. Okay. No, that's not true. It's definitely not true. And just that is, I don't know, man. Miami, man, just our expectations, high expectations for that team, man. And this is what it is, man. I don't even think the coach gonna survive, man. I think he's definitely on this. He should be on a short leash because that is just you have no control of your team. Like you have no identity, man. None. Y'all lost to the Colts. The team y'all could have ran on, the team that can't stop the run, and y'all couldn't run the ball. That's terrible coaching to me, bro. Everybody know that the Colts can't stop the run. Everybody knows this. That's the game plan, Gills. It's that simple. We're gonna run it with these running backs down their throat. Not Miami. We're gonna let the third string quarterback try to beat you.
Chicago didn't run on them either, and that was their last loss.
Yeah.
So, no, I hear you. Those are good ones.
Yeah.
Those are good. I'm surprised a little with the Chargers, but you make a good case for it. And the race to number one, my three remain the same: ABC, Carolina, the Patriots, and the Raiders. But I got to say, Tennessee might make it interesting now.
They definitely might make a case.
They might make it interesting.
They might make a case because they definitely trashed down that joint, man. And the only win came in, and they struggled with that one was against Miami.
Mm-hmm.
A dysfunctional Miami, and you barely beat them.
Mm-hmm.
You got trounced by Bills. Y'all was up 10-0. You got destroyed by the Bills. You would have thought that the game wasn't as close as it was, right? You would never thought the dude went up in that game because they just lost at the. I don't know, man. It's bad. It's bad. But
so who's your three?
Same ones, man. Same ones. Carolina for sure. The Raiders look like they on there that they don't have no quarterback.
Yeah,
we're naming don't have
quarterback. Minshew's back in.
Trash. Oh my God, he's trash. That guy's a bum, man. He's a bum. And it didn't make no sense, man. Y'all should have been aggressive. They should have went and got Michael Penix Jr. because that was the next available quarterback that was on that list. But Atlanta swooped in because Atlanta said, hey, we're going to go get the quarterback for the future, right? Raiders should have been aggressive. I still go back to that draft. They should have went and got the quarterback, bro. Knowing that you're going on an active roster with two bums, you tripping, man. You tripping.
We were both on that. We both thought the Raiders were one of those teams that was going to move up for somebody.
Yeah.
Penix could be the guy. I think if they had Penix, they would still have Devontae Adams.
Yes. I think they would have had Michael Penix Jr. The ass would have been competitive. I think that he would have had a connection with Devontae Adams because he could get him the ball. You feel me? So you got a great route runner that has to get him the ball.
Very nice ball.
Yes. Yes,
big
he does.
Arm.
So, big arm, yeah. So he would have been in the moment. I wouldn't have seen him being rattled. I don't see him like a Spencer Rattler. You know what I mean? Like, no. And no.
Who's your third team? You said Carolina and Vegas.
I said Carolina, Vegas, and I had what was the other one I had?
I had Patriots.
Oh, Patriots. It was the Patriots. Yeah. But we expected that though. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Like they're in rebuild mode, bro.
They can't score.
They can't. You can throw Drake May out there, but I do agree. Throw him out there. Why? Throw him out there. That's what he needs. He needs to start to get acclimated to the NFL speed. If you don't do that, holding the clipboard. Throw him out there.
Yeah, I don't know if that line is good enough to protect them. You don't.
It ain't. So it makes you a stronger quarterback. You
pick up the eyes go down when you snap the ball. You don't want the eyes to go down. You don't want them to go down looking for the rush, seeing ghosts.
Yeah,
like Sam Darnold did back in the day. You don't want that. But
Uh,
all right, so we were in agreement with a lot, a few different changes. So I guess with that being said, it's that time.
that time.
It's that time.
It's that time, brother.
Let's do them picks. Want to remind everybody you are tuned into the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast. We do these picks every week, unless of course we don't have a show, but most of the time we do.
Mm-hmm.
And you can always catch us when we have a show on Wednesdays, 9-ish p.m. And our picks last week, I'll say it really fast because I don't want to hurt your feelings. But I went 9-6. You went 6-9. My total for the year is 53 and 51. I am finally over 500. It took 3 weeks for me to do it. And you are 37 and 67. Yikes.
Well, for me, I'm gonna be honest, man. Sometimes I don't want to agree with you, so I'll jump out there and be like, I'll jump out there because we'll be in too much agreement if I don't. So for the record, y'all, half the picks I do pick, I don't really believe because I'll be like, okay, maybe if the NFL does the NFL, you know what I mean? Because never the better team wins. Always that one team that throws everything off. And I don't want to always be in agreement with Gil, so it makes a dry show. So I will eat the bullet for a lot of them picks, knowing daggone well I didn't think half them teams I picked was actually going to win. But now I'm not going to do that because I really need these wins. So I say we agree. Oh well, because I'm not going to keep being 37 because I know football more than that. So I'm not going to keep doing all that. Okay. So no, I don't care. We go 16 for 16. Oh well, you're going to get my best pick.
And nobody's on a bye this week, so
Yes, sir.
it will be 16 games.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it crack-a-lackin'.
Crack-a-lackin'.
Thursday, 8:15, Amazon. The Minnesota Vikings, coming off of their first loss, is favored by 3 points at the Los Angeles Rams. The number is 48.
I like Minnesota. I'm going Minnesota. I think they'll bounce back. I know Cooper Kupp is coming back. I still think that
they're talking trading Cooper Kupp.
Wow. I mean, you still got Tutu out. Well, you got some pieces. I just think that defense is for real.
Puka Nacua is still out.
And Puka Nacua is still out.
And so is
trade Kupp because you still got the pieces, but I think Minnesota is the better team. So at the end of the day, I think they'll bounce back from this loss. They played a hell of a game. They picked a hell of a game. So hopefully it didn't take too much out of them. That's one of the things. It could be a letdown game because it might have took too much out of them. But I rolled the dice for Minnesota. I'm going with the better team, Minnesota.
I agree. I have Minnesota marked. And the number is 48. I got the under.
Let me see, Gil. Defensively, boom. 48. Yeah, I'll go for the under too.
All right, so we are in complete agreement. This might be a reoccurring event. Sunday, 1 o'clock, CBS. The Philadelphia Eagles are at the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals at home are a 2-point favorite. The number is 48. I have Cincinnati because Philadelphia has not been playing great. Saquon's playing great, but I don't think Philly's playing great. So Cincinnati, at the very least, can score. They're at home. I'm going to take Cincinnati to win outright, and they are going to go over on the 48.
Well, this is the time when Joe Burrow plays like Joe Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
So
He's been playing well, even when they lose.
Yeah, he has been. The defense can't stop nobody. They don't stop nobody. Mm-hmm. But this is the time when they kind of get in rhythm. So it's hard to go Joe Burrow when they get into their rhythm. They always are slow starters. We know that. They just know they're slow starters. So I'm going with Cincinnati also. And once again, Philly they beat the Giants, but I don't know what you're getting with Philly. Philly still don't have to show me they're not living up to the potential I think they can have. So, nah, I'll go with Cincy. And I'm going to go with the over.
Shocker, we're in agreement again. Okay, 1 o'clock CBS. The Baltimore Ravens are a 9-point favorite at the Cleveland Browns. Jameis Winston will be making the start.
Oh, he'll start?
Yes.
I think they're better off with Jameis Winston at the quarterback play. It's because but he's going to cough the ball over. That's what he do. He's definitely going to cough the ball over. But they do got Chubb back. I'm gonna shoot the dice with this one, man. Baltimore run the game. Browns. Nah, I can't. I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I gotta go with the better team.
I also picked the Ravens, and the number is 44.5. I'm taking the over.
We're in agreement there too, because one thing about the Ravens, they're gonna score. But I also see the Browns scoring too. But I think that James Winston I got him at least going at least 2 interceptions and somebody fumbling the ball. So I got him. I'm clocking with 2 interceptions because he'll probably throw a late one, trying to do too much. Okay.
And blame the fans for it because he likes to do. All right, 1 o'clock. Fox. The Tennessee Titans are at the Detroit Lions. The Lions are an 11.5-point favorite.
The history of Tennessee in the last is crazy because they have a crazy history. But that's a big number for me, man. I'm gonna shoot the dice with the Titans.
I almost picked the Titans, but I said Detroit, I believe, is the best team in the NFC, and Tennessee is terrible. Are you telling me that they can't win by more than 10? I think they can. So I took Detroit. I really had to play it out in my head, though. The number
11, so they got won by 12, 14. That's a lot of points, especially in the game when anything can happen. That's a lot.
It's a lot. I also think Jared Goff is making a MVP kind of run this year. And the number 45, I'm doing the under because I just don't think Tennessee is going to score.
Yeah, Tennessee can't score, so I got the under too. But then again, Lions can pick that up by themselves. Quarter, they could pick that up by themselves.
Well,
What's up 37?
What are you going to do?
37.
What are you going to do?
I'm going under though. I'm with you. I'm gonna agree with you. Titans can't score.
But you picked the Titans because of the number, right?
Yeah, so that would pin me to the under. Because if the Titans can't score, that means their defense going to have to step up, and it's going to be turnover ball. You know what I mean? Because Jared Goff can't cough the ball over. But you know, they're going to throw so much at Tennessee. And if Mason Rudolph could just be a game manager, then he could make it interesting with that line. You know what I'm saying? But then they lost D-Hop, so they ain't got no weapons. What the hell? All right, I'm still with the guns.
Don't they have Ridley?
Yeah, they got Ridley. Maybe that might free it up, Ridley.
They also have
Burks or Banks or something like that.
No, what's his name? They used to play for the Bengals. The wide receiver. They used to play for the Bengals.
Oh.
Remember they were the 3-headed monster?
Yeah.
Not Chase, not Higgins.
I can't think of his name, but I know you're talking about.
I can't think of it either, but he plays for Tennessee. So
I got some pieces. I'm going Titans and under though.
All right.
Not my favorite.
Also with the under. So this is our first disagreement. 1 o'clock. Fox. The Arizona Cardinals at the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are a 3.5-point favorite over Arizona. Favorite at home, 3.5.
I like Arizona.
I like Arizona too. Almost seems too easy.
Yeah, I know.
The number is 45.5. I'm taking the under.
I'm gonna go over.
Oh, okay. That doesn't really mean much. We both took Arizona. Okay. The New York Jets, CBS, 1 o'clock at the New England Patriots. The Jets are an even 7-point favorite.
Give me the Jets.
I also have the Jets. I think they get
under.
Right. The number's 41. Still going
under.
No, I went under as well. We are in agreement. 1 o'clock, Fox. The Atlanta Falcons coming off a bad loss
Yes.
at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming off a costly loss
Yeah.
with wide receivers getting injured.
Yeah.
Atlanta on the road is a 2.5-point favorite, and the number is 46.
They play better on the road, so give me the Falcons. They don't play good at home.
I also took the Falcons, and I
And
took
then the under and over. They went over last time, so I'm gonna go under.
You went under, and I went over. So that's the only disagreement there. I fear that
Because I'm trying to think where they're gonna where the Tampa Bay
points are going to come from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot. You losing your two primary receivers, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty much they're probably going to tight end set and run the ball with the two running backs, but you know that explosiveness and that, and then for Chris Godwin even hurt more because that was his bailout guy. That's the guy that's going to get you those chunk plays. You know when it break down. So it's a lot.
I think Atlanta's going to score a lot.
Okay.
I think
against that secondary.
You know what? Tampa Bay, that defense hasn't been up to snuff.
Yeah, you're right about that.
They have.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Okay. 1 o'clock, Fox. Green Bay Packers are a 4-point favorite at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
That number is
49.5.
That number is funny, man. I think it's going to be a push, man. I think it's honestly going to be a push, bro. So give me Jacksonville.
Oh, my gosh. I thought for sure you were taking Green Bay. I also took Jacksonville.
Yeah, that's a push. It's the number. That's a weird number. Four. That's a weird number because it's like it's screaming for you. We know clearly who the better team is.
Oh,
clearly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even with the London game with Jacksonville, you played a terrible team. So that don't mean nothing. 4.
But they won. It's a good plane ride back. They're kind of feeling good about themselves. And Green Bay stole a game at home.
They did.
Stole it.
They did. And then it seems like when Green Bay goes to Jacksonville, it's always kind of a close game, believe it or not. So I shoot that to the Jags. Man, what's the number on the over and under?
49.5. I took the under.
Under. I'm with you with your theory with the 51. If it's 50 and over, I go over. 49 borderline, we go under.
Especially when one of the teams isn't
great. Especially when one team is, and then they both prone to turn the ball over. So one of the things where you could be putting a drive together, and next thing you know, you get a dumb red zone interception.
And Green Bay has been getting a lot of interceptions because I have Green Bay as my defense on fantasy. 1 o'clock, CBS. This is the last 1 o'clock game. The Indianapolis Colts at Houston Texans. The Texans are a 5-point favorite. The number is 46.
They always play each other close.
They always play each other close.
They sure do.
It's a divisional game. Houston is not quite as good as I thought they were going to be.
No, they're definitely not.
And the Colts are winning.
They win it.
I don't know how, but they're winning.
They are.
Number is 5.
But the Colts tend to play better at home. And I don't like Richardson. I don't like it's on the road, right?
It's on the road.
I don't like Richardson as a quarterback. I actually take Texans.
Okay, we're in disagreement. I'm taking the Colts with the number. 46.
Over.
You taking over?
Let me see. Stale offenses. Yeah, give me the over.
The best thing to do is do a score in your head.
They just went from 16 to 10 last week. The Colts did. I see over.
Okay, I went under. 4:05 Fox. The New Orleans Saints at the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, how can that be? Hold on a second. Where's the Rams? Oh, they played Thursday. That's why. I was like, how would the Rams and the Chargers both at home? The Rams
Yeah.
are playing Thursday. That's what it is. Okay. New Orleans Saints at the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers are a 7.5-point favorite at home.
7.5 with the
Seven
defense.
and a half. That's a number.
7.5.
Be careful.
7.5. New Orleans look like straight.
Who are the Chargers throwing the ball to?
Chargers we don't know who the hell the Chargers throwing the ball to, but the Chargers can run the ball. Kamara. Rattler still is not ready defensively. Give me the Chargers.
I got the Chargers too. Damn, I thought I could talk you into New Orleans. And the number is 40.5. Under. I'm also under. Damn it. Ugh. Okay. So far, we disagree on 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
4:05 Fox. The Buffalo Bills at the Seattle Seahawks. That might be a pretty good game.
A good game.
Buffalo on the road is a 4-point favorite. And
I actually take the Bills.
we differ. I'm gonna take Seattle, only because they're at home. The number is 47.
He's got beat by the Giants at home.
Who did?
The Seahawks did.
Yeah, but then they beat San Francisco last week.
No, who did?
Seattle.
No, they didn't.
Who did Seattle just beat?
Seattle beat Atlanta.
Atlanta. That's who they beat.
Yeah, but Atlanta, I expected that. Atlanta is one of them letdown teams. You know what I'm saying?
Buffalo is going across the country.
Yeah, with a better quarterback.
Never that easy.
With a better quarterback. The Giants. I just said the Giants went and beat the Seahawks. Are you serious, bro? The Giants went and beat the Seahawks. Are you serious?
So you're taking Buffalo?
I'm cool with the Bills. With the 4, you daggone right I am.
47 over under.
Over.
Wow, we really differ on this one. I'm taking Seattle. It's too easy. Oh, Buffalo.
If it's two 4.5-point spreads, one of them going. If it's 2 4.5-point spreads, one of them going to cover. Watch what I tell you.
Seattle has a real chance to win this division. With San Francisco leaking, the Rams leaking, Arizona being Arizona. If Seattle's going to win the division, they got to show that they could beat good teams at home.
You're right about that.
They got to do it.
Who the Bills' losses came to?
Baltimore
and Houston.
2
balanced good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle does not fall in that category to me. They don't. Their wins are suspect. Think about it. The 4 wins they had against was the first 3 was shoddy quarterbacks. They played a rookie. They played backups. And when they actually played the starting quarterback, they got beat. Now, when they went down to Atlanta was in that sandwich game because they was going to play a division team, and they came off that big winning Panthers, and they was feeling themselves. And they came out there and played a lazy, lackadaisical game, and then they was able to catch them off guard. You feel me? I don't think that Buffalo's going to have the same luxury. And you get another week to jail with Amari Cooper. You feel me? So
you're taking Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo.
I got Seattle. 4:25 now. CBS. Carolina at Denver. The return of Bryce Young. Denver is a 10-point favorite at home. And the number is 42.
That's a big number, man. That's a big number.
10 is big.
That's a big number, bro. And Bryce Young back at quarterback. They ain't got no confidence in that guy. Give me Denver.
I also got Denver. Big number, but Carolina stinks.
They stink.
42 over
under.
I am also under.
But now the offense really gonna be stale with Bryce Young there. Let's go.
4:25 CBS. The undefeated Kansas City Chiefs at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in mind the Raiders were that team that we're making fun of.
Yeah, homeboy.
Mahomes with that stuffed animal or whatever.
I mean,
So
they play with grip. They got a terrible quarterback. So give me the Chiefs.
Chiefs are a 10-point favorite on the
A
road.
what? A what?
10. 10.
Nah, hell no. Give me the Raiders.
You sure?
Yeah, give me the Raiders.
I have Kansas City.
Okay.
And the number is 41.5. I got the over.
The Chiefs, the Raiders. Let me see. The Chiefs played San Francisco and they beat them by that. The Raiders, no, got no hell no, because they got Minshew. Give me the Chiefs. I my gun. Chiefs.
When I mark it,
Nah, because I already had my original was the Chiefs. Then I thought about it. They threw the dumb number out there at 10. And I'm just like, hold up. And I thought about it. And I was like, hold up, 10. But then again, they just beat San Francisco by more than 10. They beat them by 12. You feel me? Or 13. You know, that's doable for my homeboy. You feel me? Because Raiders can't stop the cold. You know, and then their quarterback play is shoddy. Who they throwing the ball to? You feel me? And then they don't got no run game. So with the defense, the way the Chiefs are playing, I'm just had to really think about the game. Hell no, I'm not betting with the Raiders. They're trash. I'm cool. I'll take the Chiefs with that points.
next time it's going to, when I mark it, that's what it's going to be.
It might actually work in my favor with the Raiders. The Raiders actually might cover the line, believe it or not.
41.5 over under.
I just told you that they can't score. So 40, let me see what score. 34 to 10. That'd be 24, 30, 44. What's the line? 44?
41.5.
Give me over.
I also have the over. Copycat.
34-10. That's the call, the scoring pin out there, 34-10. So that's 44.
And the last 425 game, CBS, this game got flexed. My Chicago Bears are a 2.5-point favorite at the Washington Commanders. I don't know if Jaden Daniels is playing or
I don't know
not.
if the Daniels are playing, man.
But the thing is, they can run the same offense.
They can with Marcus.
Mariota is the same type of player.
Yeah, you're right.
And this is still the number one versus the number two, whether it's Jaden or Mariota, because in 2015, Mariota also won the Heisman, and he was the number 2 pick.
Yeah, two teams playing good football.
Chicago, 2.5-point favorite on the road. Tells me all I need to know.
Y'all play better on the road. Y'all play better at home than on the road. Give me Washington.
Are you sure?
Yup. Give me Washington.
Washington. I got Chicago, and I got the over. It's 43.
I'll take the over. But yeah, give me Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all play better. Y'all play better at home.
You're right. But we're coming off a bye.
Yeah.
You think Caleb ain't hearing about how Jaden Daniels is the best rookie so far? You think he ain't hearing that? Okay.
I mean, if we get Jalen Daniels, I really like my pick. If we get Daniels, I really like my pick. But if
those ribs are still gonna hurt when he gets hit.
Yeah, but they might not play him. They might play Marcus. If they were smart, they'll play Marcus. They don't want to RG3 him, you know.
They flexed this game because they thought Jaden was gonna win, was gonna play. That's why it got flexed.
Okay.
We'll see. Sunday night, 8:20 NBC. Your Dallas Cowboys are at the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers at home are a 4-point favorite.
We can't stop the run, but give me my Cowboys.
I'm also going Cowboys. If you can't beat San Francisco with them being all beat up and out.
Once again, I think we play better on the road. We play better on the road than at home. So, you know, we were
home.
Yeah, if it was a home game, I'd have took the San Francisco 49ers because we are terrible at home. So we play a lot better when away from that big stadium, bro, believe it or not. I can't call it, but just the way the trend been going. And far as the over-under,
46.5.
No defense there, man. Go over.
Ooh, I disagree. I went under.
Okay. I don't really be banking on my over-unders, man. It's hard to call the NFL.
I don't. But if you're gonna bet,
yeah, sometimes I might.
And you're looking for that last game, and you're like,
yeah,
man, I don't know. Then that's when you look for the over-under.
You're right about that.
And the last game of the week, Monday night, 8:15 ESPN. The New York Giants are at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a family affair because the Rooneys and the Maras, they're family. They have people married and all that stuff together. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers are a 6.5-point favorite at home. Give me the Steelers.
I think the
And
Steelers.
the number is 36.5. That's a low ass
That's a
number.
low. Give me over.
I went over on that too. Who did you pick for it?
Steelers.
And we are in agreement. So we disagreed on
Man, 3
1,
games.
2, 3. I got 4.
You got 4. Let me see.
Tennessee, Detroit. You picked Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee. Yep.
Indian, Houston.
Texas.
You picked Houston. Buffalo and Seattle. You picked Buffalo.
Yeah,
very,
4.
very arrogantly, I might add.
And Washington.
And Washington, Chicago. You picked Washington.
Yep.
So 4. I wish it was more, but it's 4. A quick reminder, next week is our Halloween special, our second annual Halloween special, where we will have our top 10 protagonists in horror and sci-fi. Protagonists. That means hero/heroine, which means female. Female. Sci-fi.
It has to be a female.
Trying to help you out.
They don't got males protagonists.
Yeah, it's hero, heroine. Hero is a male, heroine's a female.
Right.
Okay, I'm trying to emphasize.
That's the opposite of the villain.
Protagonist is the good guy.
Right.
The protagonist, good guy. Antagonist
is the bad guy.
Bad guy.
Right.
Not doing that. We're doing the good guys in horror/sci-fi. Okay. Think female. Okay. And we will be back in 2 weeks to do our regular sports show. And the theme on that one is we're going to be doing our mid-season awards, because now we will be past week 9 of the NFL season. So believe it or not, this season is half over. It'll be over half over 2 weeks from now. So we're going to have, we'll do all the awards. We'll do league MVP. Who do we think? Offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, and maybe even head coach. Okay. Mid-season. We are definitely allowed to change our minds at the end of the season, but we're going mid-season. Now, we're not projecting on who's going to win it. We are giving our opinion on who has these awards right now.
Yeah, gotcha.
Right now. Not what it's going to be, right now. Okay? That being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the What's Good with Gil and Larry podcast. Catch us next Wednesday. Special time, 9:30. 9:30. Because of scheduling with the 2 other guests, it has to be a half hour later. 9:30, Wednesday, Halloween special, second annual, 2 guests, 10 movies with honorable mentions. I'm very much looking forward to it. Top 10 movies that have a protagonist. Well, the top 10 protagonists in a horror/sci-fi movie. Like I had said before last week, we're not talking sci-fi like Star Wars or Star Trek. We're talking sci-fi like where there's like a monster or something scary involved. It could be an action movie, but there's like a scary killing kind of theme involved with the sci-fi. I have to put them in there. I have to. You will know this when I do my list. That being said, thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll catch you on the Halloween special next week at 9:30, Wednesday. Check it out. Check it out. Until then, deuces.
My main man. Great show as normal, my brother.
Great show.
I'll see you next week.
Can't wait to beat you in the picks again.
Oh, man. I'm bombing.
I'll see you, brother. Do
Yes,
some
brother.
research. Do some research.